if you really want to get better at your pull-ups, stop relying on the bands. I know it's an easy way to get from bottom to top, but it is not the best way to improve your vertical pulling strength. The band has accommodating resistance, and so there's more tension at the bottom than there is at the top. The bottom position is arguably the most difficult part of the entire movement. Getting from here to here is probably much harder than here to here. You see people who can't quite do a full pull-up yet. If they start at the top, they can go halfway down and come back up, but they're not necessarily able to go from the bottom and get halfway up. So yes, you could still use the bands, but don't rely on it every single time. So right now, I'm gonna show you a few different ways that you can work on improving your pull-ups without using a band. The rings are a great way to get better at your pulling strength. Now, a lot of times what I see, the problem is people use the rings the same exact way every single time. So no matter what the reps are, no matter how much strength they may have gained, they continue to use the same version of the rings that they've always used. It never changes. So my recommendation is use your own body to determine how challenging you want to make those pull-ups, those ring rows. So at the beginning, you're probably going to have your feet directly under the rings. Here is going to be much easier than if you walk your feet a little bit further forward. So what I would suggest is after you get good at having your feet directly underneath the rings, next you can move your knees directly underneath the rings. It's going to be a little bit harder. Once that becomes a little bit easier, or maybe the rep scheme is a little bit lower and you can make it harder, use your hip. Now, I'll put my hips directly underneath the rings. It's a little bit more challenging. From there, you can use your shoulders directly underneath the rings, making contact to the body each and every time. From there, you can elevate your feet on top of a box and make it more challenging yet. So those are my ways that I like to use the rings that maybe you haven't done before. The last pull-up variation I'm going to show you is going to emulate that full pull-up movement, that vertical pulling motion, more so than any of the other two. It's going to be more realistic than the other two. So put a barbell, probably about nose high, get directly underneath the bar, just like you would if you were hanging from the full pull-up bar. And now, with my arms fully extended, I can pull myself up, get my chin over the bar, just like I would any other time. And the only thing that I have to assist myself is my legs. So I can actually push off the floor using my feet to help myself get up there. So with this, it's gonna be much more realistic to that pull-up movement. So you can get all the way over top each and every time. It's a completely vertical motion, top to bottom. And there is no accommodating resistance. The resistance will be the same the whole time because you're using your body. You're gonna use a little bit less of your body weight than you did before, but again, the weight is gonna be the same. The resistance is the same, top to bottom. So try those out, work those into your routine, mix it up a little bit with your pull-up variations. Let's see who can get the first one.